A little.
A little.
All right, good recap.
Nathan, a lot. We're in the Jersey woods
In Pine Barrens.
because Jersey is cursed,
Mm-hmm.
and we met a very cute, very nice ghost dog with a very sad story, and then came up against Pirate Man,
Mm-hmm.
who's obsessed with his treasure,
Mm-hmm.
and Nathan's already near death after one round of combat.
Yep. All right. So we're gonna pick up where we last left off. Now, correct me if I am wrong, but currently, what we have going on right now is the main group is standing their ground with the ghost pirate. Avram, however, snuck around and went deeper behind where the pirate came from, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and do top of the round. It's actually starting with Rebecca.
She's gonna shoot.
Okay, go ahead
Let me
and
run to
shoot.
my computer. Hang on.
Okie doke. I will say just
Nathan Dice, where's Nathan Dice?
gun. Nathan Dice is blessed.
It's mini dice.
I'm
It looks nothing like dice that Nathan should have, but I'll keep them.
I'm spending 3 luck.
Okay.
Scott,
Yes?
do we get to roll for luck?
Yes, yes, you do. Thank you for reminding.
So I should roll before I spend it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Roll before you spend it. All right, Rebecca. Nothing changes for you anyway.
Perfect. 19 luck left. Let's go.
Everybody else roll d10, right?
Everyone who failed, yes, roll a d10 and add that.
Let me. Where the fuck is my D10 in this box? There it is.
Jesus Christ, Rebecca, you're down to 19.
That's definitely a failure, so that's a D10.
All right. So, what did it not? Bruh, I forgot to loop it. It's like, why is there silence? I don't like there being silence. I'm alone with my thoughts. But Rebecca, when you aim your gun the first time you fired, it wasn't that effective. You saw this yourself that the bullets kind of went through it. However, this time, as you steel yourself, you see that one of your companions almost went down from a very heavy blow. You're able to actually hit, and you actually see that the figure here that looks semi-spectral, semi-rotting in outdated garb with a sword and an angry expression to match, actually staggers as if there's a bit of weight to him as he takes the hit. And what's your damage? Because he definitely failed that fucking dodge.
Is that something I roll, or is that just a standard?
It's something you roll, I believe. It should be on your sheet. Let's meet up.
It's 1d8, so...
Yes. Plus damage bonus
7.
if you've got any. 7.
Plus
Alright.
what bonus?
Do you have a damage bonus?
No.
Okay, going to
The
go ahead.
use of the skill automatically rolls damage for you. It's at towards the bottom of the box.
Oh, yes, there it is. Yes, okay, cool. Alright. I'll take the higher roll because I didn't see the damage. But yes, it already does
Thank
that
you for
for
your
ya.
benevolence.
Of course, of course. Alright. Anything else you want to do? Anything else you're trying to do? You see, one person has snuck off somewhere. You see, one person's almost down. Or almost went to his knees, but I believe he was able to stay standing, right?
Yes. He does
Yeah.
have a major wound now, but he is fucking toe to toe with this fucking ghost.
I don't know if there's any kind of mechanic for this, but could
Mhm.
she go and like brace Nathan or like try to like help him in some form or fashion?
Okay, what are you trying to do?
Like I imagine like if he's like half over, she's like trying to like prop him up like against her shoulder or something.
Okay. So, are you trying to help Nathan get away from the monster, or are you trying to kind of shore him up and keep him there and help him stand up there?
I was thinking shore him up.
Okay, cool. So you can go ahead and do that, and if you want, we can give Nathan a bonus die to whatever he does next with you supporting him.
Oh dear God.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Anything else you'd like to do?
That'll be it.
Okay. Evie. Situation's not good.
On a level with the chief, I got no idea.
Alright. So, what we have here is we have a ghost that, as everyone would see from Rebecca shooting him, it looks like at this current time, he's getting more and more fleshy. His being is actually getting more fleshy and having more weight. He's actually sinking into the mud with every step now. The bullet actually had purchase when it went through him. You see, Nathan has taken a heavy hit, but Rebecca's there shoring him up. He's not down, but he is hurt.
Mm-hmm. And then
Yeah.
Danny's not doing well either.
Yeah, Danny's not doing well either. Danny is having a moment. And you see, Avram has snuck away. You see, Elaine is also there. So, if you'd like to try and do something to the ghost, would it do something to help either of your comrades? Would you like to do something else in the environment? There's a bunch of rocks and mud and trees around. There's a lot of fog. It gets heavier the farther out you go from this area, but you can still kind of see.
My problem is that I've had about a month to consider what to do, and I do not know what to do. So what would Evie think to do is my question here. If there's anything I can do to get a better indication of which way to go, because it feels like Nathan is being shored up by Danny, so by Rebecca rather. So there's something there already being done. Evie's not a very good shot, so I don't think shooting it at this juncture would be helpful. I don't know.
Social skill, right? That was a charm.
She has charm, yeah.
You could try distracting him. He's a pirate.
Yeah, you could.
All
you could
right.
also try and learn a bit more about him by observing him. If you want to give me, I guess it would be a mythos roll.
Are these things mutually exclusive?
No.
Okay, so I will give you the mythos roll first.
Okay.
Didn't expect to pass that. There's no other roll I could use for that, right?
All right. Do you have arguments?
I would like to be able to know things, is my argument. I've got biology, botany, and zoology.
Do you have
Biology,
history?
I don't have history.
Let me look at your sheet. What you
Got
got?
15 history. So. I've got a 50 credit rating.
Eh,
I'm sure that does a lot for me.
Yeah. You know, that actually could. All right.
I'll try charm, though.
If you want, you can give me a. It's for something separate. You can go ahead and give me a combined roll, and we'll go with your botany, and we'll go with we'll combine botany and history. So go ahead and roll history.
Roll history?
Yep. Go ahead and
Okay.
roll history.
Fuck me.
Okay.
I wasn't
So-
expecting that!
Here's how combined rolls work, for those who do not know. When you combine a roll, rather than rolling separately twice, you're going to instead roll once and try and pass both skills. Now, the reason why you roll the lower one is because if you pass that one, you pass both. But sometimes you can fail your history, but you'll still get below your botany, so you'll still get that answer. But you passed both. Remember to mark that off.
Okay, I'll mark that off. I think it's probably worth spending the 2 luck here. So I'll spend 2 to make that a hard success.
Okay, cool. So, I believe if you look at your botany, we'll go ahead and roll that real quick. Yeah, so you just got a hard history success and a extreme botany success is what you just got. So good on you, Evie. All right.
See,
So,
this is why
as
you
you're-
always roll the shit even if you don't think you're gonna do it. A la
I
library
rolled
use.
Cthulhu. I rolled
Yeah.
Mythos.
Yeah. But all right, Evie. So you're standing there. You're thinking, okay, what can you do? What can you do? You know, you're not the strongest shot. You know, Danny here's he's not having a good time. You know, Nathan's also not having a good time. But he's got Rebecca there. Okay, he's okay. He's okay. He's not alone at least. And as you're looking, as you're trying to study and gain any amount of information you can out of this ghost, this creature, you do see that he is steadily, with every bit of time spent here, getting more and more corporeal. He's getting more and more heavy and being filled out with actual flesh and not just spectral ghost, whatever. You haven't studied a ghost yet, which is exciting.
Yeah,
But you can't think about that now, right? Priorities, right?
it's very hard for her to prioritize, but she will.
Exactly. You remember that you guys did research this area. You know that, okay, this is probably that same pirate that was, previously read about. Specifically, Captain Kidd,
Mhm.
who is just a legend that he died like 100 or 200 years ago, somewhere around then, at some area around here. He wasn't exactly even in this forest. You know that he's not actually supposed to be here, but for some reason his ghost is here, and that's why he's a legend here. You also notice that he's covered in plants, kind of trailing down. It's almost like a duckweed kind of thing that's kind of trailing behind him from where he came from. Little bits of leaves and moss that only grow in actual proper lakes and oceans and water. They don't grow here in the Pine Barrens. It's like if you saw like someone walking around with coral growing on them in a forest. That's not right. And with an extreme success on that, you know that actually looks fresh. It looks like something was just growing mere moments ago is now suddenly transplanted here and now. And you do see that it is trailing that same trail that he came from.
So, presumably, if we follow that trail, we find something?
Yes.
Okay. Is that meant to be the main takeaway?
More or less.
Okay.
You can either go past him and do that to see what actually happened, and discover more about what's actually happening, or you can deal with him here and now because he is a danger, or both. It's not mutually exclusive. You can deal with him and then go investigate,
Okay. So
or you
I
can do
think
one or the other.
I feel like we're doing deal with and then go investigate. So,
Mhm.
Evie will call to Avram and tell him, because she sees him diving around,
Mhm.
to follow the plants. And then can I attempt the distraction method?
Yes, you can.
All right.
All
Then
right.
I will attempt a charm check. Okay. Thank you, Evie.
All right.
I want
It's
to
gonna
know
be
how
a
Evie fucking charms a 200-year-old pirate.
yeah.
I actually know exactly this. What is this man's name? Captain Kidd?
Yes.
All right, give me a second. Let me Evify a second.
Find Evie. Find the Evie.
If you want to know his proper name is Captain William Kidd.
Excuse me, William, is it? Would you happen to have seen? I find this subject quite fascinating. Have you bested a kraken, sir?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I love this game. Okay. Well,
Evie will start rambling all sorts of facts about krakens, trying to get this man to chime in.
so let me see. So that is a regular success that you got. So you haven't charmed him per se. However, you did get his attention, and that you're just talking about krakens now, about what you've distracted him.
That's all I
So-
wanted to do.
So what is going to happen for him is that he is going to be getting a penalty die because his attention is kind of split. All right. Will that be all, Evie?
Yes, that will be all. Thank you for that idea, Matt. That was a very good idea.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Iris, do you live?
I do.
Hey.
All right. A lot of shit's happening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't good. I have a question.
Yes. What is it?
Is it possible to inflict multiple penalty dice?
I believe the max is 2. So yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm not 100% sure what type of roll this would be,
Mm-hmm.
but keying in to Evie distracting him about krakens,
Mm-hmm.
and remembering this guy is a pirate,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't believe Elaine's going to do this, but can she throw something shiny? Like some kind of jewelry or something?
The buckle from the couture waiters.
I mean, do we have any leftover gold from messing with vampires?
I mean, we fucking might.
Nah, you had to give that back so Rebecca didn't get fired. Oh no,
Ops.
Did the gold that they had on the ship, maybe.
I ask this because
Mhm.
Elaine does have a lot money. Money big.
Money big.
Money me, money now.
Alright, you know what? We're gonna put that credit rating to use. I'd like you to roll me a credit rating check. Because you're gonna think you're gonna try and think, you're gonna try like, you know what? What if I can buy my way out of this? He likes money, right? If I distract him with something money, I'm like money, right? Something
Something
money,
valuable.
money. Something valuable, something shiny. Fuck, where is my fucking sapphire earring? Did I put that on? Ah, shit, where is it? Fuck, I don't want to get that in the mud. Okay, what's something else? So you're scrambling for something of worth that you're willing to get dirty. Roll me a credit rating.
I imagine she has like a bracelet that she's had for a couple months. It's old enough.
Some like tennis bracelet or something.
Yeah. So how do I roll that? Is that a skill?
It should be a skill on your sheet. It might not be rollable, so you
Oh,
just roll
okay, yeah,
a
it is.
D100.
It is.
Okay, cool.
Is it rollable?
Yeah, money is a skill.
Ching!
Okay, for a second you think, okay, what about this, like, this ruby thing I have? Like, no, he's a pirate, right? Pirates like gold and gems. So you go, and that fancy gold and diamond tennis bracelet that you've been wearing for the past few months, it's become almost like a second skin to you now. Is you just unbuckle it, and you toss it, and you just pray to God the mud washes out.
Yep.
Roll me a throw roll. Yeet.
Throw.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a skill, though.
It is a skill.
It is? Oh.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It's
it
not
is. I
listed
see
in
it.
combat skills.
All right.
Spin the luck. That's close.
I will say that you'll get it away from her. It's a matter of just how close does it get. So it'll be insight, but I'm going to be rolling something for him to see if he spots it. Unless you want to spend the luck and ensure that he sees it.
Do it.
Because there's a chance he could also see it on his own.
And it's
Evie points it
30
out?
luck to stop.
Can both of you repeat that one?
After yours.
You first.
Iris, go.
Iris first. Iris, go.
I was saying it's 30 luck to stop yourself from dying instantly, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So, you can just roll, the dice,
Yeah, I don't want to chance it because I only have 36 luck.
Okay.
I have 19.
I asked if Evie could point it out.
You have a successful charm. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and use that same charm check from Evie along with the hard success credit rating from Elaine. It's fucking shiny and flashy. So Evie points it out, he'll be able to see it.
Evie's like, you see there, sir? We've compensated you for your time and expertise in the matter.
Alright.
And
Anything else you want to do,
if it's
Elaine?
okay,
Mm-hmm.
if it's okay, she's gonna go hide behind a tree.
Yeah, okay. You can do
That's
that.
valid.
You see the dog also there.
That'll be my turn.
Alright. Danny, my boy. So, how are you holding up?
Well, I'm nervous.
You or Danny?
Me.
Okay. Because if I remember correctly, we ended off last session with you going into a bout of madness.
Yep. 7 whole minutes.
Yep. So, here's the thing. Danny, as you're there in the forest, shit's popping off. Things are going wrong, and wronger. You're not really sure what's happening. You see Nathan almost goes down taking a heavy blow, but Rebecca's there with him now. One arm under his, keeping him afloat, backing him up, making sure he doesn't go down again. Evie is talking to the ghost figure. You can't quite make out the words. All of the speech is just jumbling in your mind, making it difficult to concentrate and focus. Because, Danny, what you see around you is a forest. but not this one. Around you, you see the same trees and wind and sky around as the forest from back home. But you still see all your companions scattered around. You still see that pirate ghost figure there, standing off with your friends, locked in battle. But you know that they've never been there, and not with you. And you were last in the States. You weren't home last time you checked. But it feels so real. You can practically smell the wind and the fresh scent of the forest in your nose. And then you start to smell smoke. All of the fog that you were used to going around up until now just changes into a thick and intense smoke as you smell fire in the area. You look and you see around you, behind you, a ways away, people running, people you knew back home, screaming in terror and fleeing. And that's when you turn, you see a figure there, standing, surrounded by a raging inferno that turns to look at you. What do you do?
I imagine at this point right now, Danny's
Mhm.
heart is thundering in his throat. He swallows hard, and he looks around and he sees Elaine running away and Evie talking to this figure that just was not there before, but his first instinct right now is to get to Nathan and help Rebecca get him up.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Goddard, is there fire around him?
Not yet, but the smoke
Okay.
is getting thicker. It's almost hard to breathe. You can kind of feel it, kind of like making your throat all mucky.
All right, Danny's throwing his elbow around the lower half of his face
Mm-hmm.
and just running.
Okay, so you run to Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
What you doing?
What else could Danny do to help him, like, get up?
So, if you want, you can try and drag Nathan away from the danger. Whether or not he's willing is up to, Nathan and Z. You could try and block and defend any attacks that come to him. You could try and directly attack the person. You could try and do something else entirely. Like, what's Danny's main priority right now? Is it getting Nathan to safety? Is it protecting Nathan?
Yeah, getting Nathan to safety.
Okay. So if you want, you can try and usher Nathan out if Nathan's willing to be led away.
Less ushering, more just straight up fireman carry.
Ah, okay. I see.
Yes, he's a literal fireman.
That's fair, valid. All right. Question to Z: is Nathan going to object and fight against this? To getting tossed over the shoulder.
Nathan was planning on trying to fire again with the fucking shotgun. But, I'm sorry, I'm just imagining, because I imagine Danny as being, like, really muscular, but, like, wiry muscular. And then this Nathan just being, like, the broad lumberjack, just a fireman carried off. That's funny.
They both have equal strength, too, which is funny.
See, if Nathan leaves, then Rebecca's just stuck there in front of this thing.
She's very dexterous. She can run away.
Yeah.
I hope.
Dodging is a thing you can do.
I don't think Nathan really has the strength to, like, say no to Danny right now. To, like, actually fight, because he is kind of up by willpower and Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess Danny can carry him off.
All right, Danny. Roll me a strength check, unless you have something else you'd like to roll instead.
I think we're just gonna swing strength.
All right. Yeah, Danny, adrenaline kicks in, and along with adrenaline, you're training. You just grab Nathan, you throw him over your shoulders in a professional fireman's carry, and you've got him. Where are you taking him?
Who would be nearest?
Aside from
Probably,
Rebecca.
yeah. So we've got Rebecca. Other than that, probably Evie, because Elaine's hiding behind a tree, and Avram has exited stage left.
Yeah, straight to Evie then.
Okay. You go, you grab, you bring him straight to Evie, and Danny, the smoke is just getting thicker. You have to duck to get out of the worst of it. And you can see out of the corner of your eyes as you deposit Nathan down. As careful as you can for the situation, but you don't have much time. You gotta act fast. You see the fire is starting to spread. Will that be all?
I guess to end his turn, he's just gonna turn Evie and just as serious as he can.
Mm-hmm.
You and try to get Benny and get Nathan out of here. Get the rest of the firefighters in town if you can. Try to get the others out before this fire spreads. Be safe.
Evie looks at him, and Evie has a very unflinching stare sometimes. And she fixes him with one of those as the pieces start to fall into place of, oh, he's seeing something. He's seeing something that is not there. And then she just nods. You can leave him with me. I'll marshal the others as well as I can.
That is it for Danny.
Okay, dope. All right, Nathan. You just got hoisted. At first, you got shored up by Rebecca. Then you got picked up and carried by Danny. Now you've been laid down next to Evie. Maybe not laid down. I don't know. I'm not sure what position Danny put you in.
Ideally on his feet, because he can still stand if he really needs to.
Mm-hmm. Maybe there's a nice rock leaned up against,
He's hearing Danny start spouting about fire. Just kind of looks around. What fucking fire? I fired a gun. That's about it.
Rebecca also fired a gun.
Mm-hmm.
There's no fire. I don't suppose there's a way of breaking somebody out of a bout of madness.
Yes, actually. You can roll psychoanalysis.
I want to roll.
Yeah.
Z, what was it you said? You have to roll even if you don't think you're gonna do well at it?
I have to crit succeed. I have a 1.
I also have a 1, actually.
Yeah, this is a Rebecca thing.
It suddenly makes sense why we're all partying together.
Yeah.
Yep, because you've got 2 rules to mess with other people's minds, and that's psychology, which is kind of like insight and understanding how they're thinking, and there's psychoanalysis, which is used during therapy and to break people out of delusion and bouts of madness.
So what I'm hearing is once we're done with this, we're going to therapist Rebecca.
I think Abram also has some of that, right?
Yeah,
He's got
I
some
think
like
so.
psychology and mainly psychoanalysis, which is the therapy one.
I have an 11 in
Perfect.
psychology, but only a 1 in psychoanalysis.
I would say if you want to roll psychology, if you succeed, you'll understand more about what's happening to Danny. If you roll psychoanalysis, that's how you break him out of it.
I don't think understanding more is going to be particularly helpful to him right now. That's the only other thing like Nathan has is he can shoot again. But that's just gonna piss the ghost off again.
The other thing that can be done here on Danny's end is a reality check roll. So a reality check is kind of like if a player sees the fourth wall and they're like, "Oh shit, wait, this is a box. This isn't real. Can I have my character try and figure out if this is real or not?" Then you'd be rolling a sanity roll, and if you pass, you'd be able to break through the illusion or the delusion that you're going through. If you fail, you just lose 1 sanity.
Can Nathan try to trigger that in Danny?
Yeah, you can try and ground him in reality and what's happening. And Danny can then try and roll the reality check roll if you want to have him do that, Charlie. Or if you think that that would be enough to try and get Danny to not believe what he's seeing right now.
Charlie.
Yeah, I'm down.
Christopher.
Imagine like if Nathan's kind of like clutching at his chest where he has been cut again. He's gonna end up with the fucking same scar over and over and over again. Is like blinking at Danny, completely confused. Hearing Evie just like agree with him, and he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And will grab Danny's arm closest to him and pull him down so that his hand is now in the like squishy muck. Too damn wet to be having any type of fire around here.
Right. Danny, what you see is a very dry and fire-prone forest floor with dried-up leaves. What you feel with your hands is unmistakably wet and squishy.
If I were to pull up my hand,
Mm-hmm.
would it be dry dirt or that mud?
You pull up your hand, and for a second, you just see dry dirt. But it feels like mud on your hand. You can feel it sloshing and sliding down your arm. But it looks dusty.
Would I make this roll now or during my next turn?
You can make it now. Okay, we'll say that this is Nathan's turn.
Danny will blink and shake his head and just flex his fingers around the mud again, feeling it squish.
Damn it, Danny.
Yeah, Danny, you for a second you think, wait, what if he's right? What if I'm not seeing this right? You know, what if all this is wrong? And then you turn and you hear screams you have not heard in a long time in the distance. You turn, you can practically feel the fire behind you roaring to life. It's getting closer. All right, Nathan.
That's all
Will that be
Nathan
all?
has. Because again, the only other thing he can do is shoot, which is going to piss the ghost off again. I don't know if we're pissing the ghost off again.
Okie doke. Well, Benny is very confused.
Oh, that's Benny!
Yeah, I don't have a token for him, so I'm just using knife as a placeholder. The knife that, tried to stab you all. It's fine.
I was like,
pretend this
I
is
know
Benny
that's
shaped.
somebody.
Yeah. Pretend this is Benny shaped. But he's also confused. And is not sure what's happening anymore. Rebecca, are you looking poised to fight? Are you looking like you're trying to get away? Or what are you doing?
Is he rolling psychology?
No, he's trying to figure out, hey, what's the plan here?
I imagine she's looking defensive.
Okay.
As like Nathan was pulled back, right? So like she's like in front now, like not advancing, but like yeah, just defending, I guess.
Okay. So you're defending. What he's going to do is he is going to bring up his gun and he is going to wait and ready his attack for when this thing tries to hurt you. Because things are kind of weird at the moment. He's not sure what's happening. But if the thing tries to hurt you, he's going to fucking unload bullet. Because right now things are weird. We have like someone talking to it. Someone tried to fucking pay him off. Yeah. Someone just got taken away. They're looking at dirt now. Someone's covered in mud now. Things are weird. A lot's happening very quickly. And we're going to go and pan over to Avram. Now, Avram, you got direction from Evie about some more specifically where to go. So it's pretty easy for you to see the plant trail now that she's pointed it out to you. Are you going to follow it?
Yes.
Okay. So you follow it. You hear more commotion behind you as your companions are dealing with said ghost monster creature. And as you go and you follow this trail of plants, you see that the fog gets thicker and thicker. And it kind of feels like you're walking through pure, like, mist. You feel your hair becoming damp and your skin becoming more clammy, mixing in with your regular sweat. But eventually, that trail of discarded plants leads you to a small clearing. In the middle of said clearing is a tree stump. And for a second, it's kind of hard to make out until you step even closer, getting within vicinity through the fog. And you see that surrounding the tree stump are corpses, animal carcasses. And carved into the tree stump itself is a symbol.
Well, that's great.
Mm-hmm. Which roll me, let me see. You can roll me a spot hidden. See if you notice something.
Alright, let me get the curse Seville die.
Yeah, you want to roll low for the system.
Yeah, surprisingly, a 26 out of 29, so barely success.
Okay. So, would he step closer to this, or would he be staying at a distance from this?
Time is of the essence, so he'll step closer.
Okay. As you get a better look at the symbol carved into it, it's not one that you've seen before, but it's similar. But what's more pressing is that the animal carcasses that you see circling this tree stump, you notice that one of them looks like it's actively decaying right before your eyes, as if it's a time lapse that just got sped up. You see that it looks like this was fresh, but now you see that it's slowly shrinking and deforming, and all of the flesh is kind of leaving its body. You don't see it pooling beneath it or decomposing, it's just disappearing.
That's also good.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just that one, or are they all sort of doing the same thing?
It's just that one. The rest are just pure skeletons. This one looks like there was only one. It looks like, do you have zoology?
I do not.
An animal of some sort.
Oh.
You're not
okay,
quite sure what. It's got 4 legs, a skull, and sharp teeth. It's got some, you think sharp teeth. You don't know. It's something pretty sizable.
What a majestic creature.
Mm-hmm. But you see, the rest of them are just bones and skeletons. Looks like there's only one actual like carcass here that is steadily depleting of flesh and skin right before your eyes.
What does this symbol look like?
So the symbol itself is carved into the tree stump, and I would say that it's about like 2.5 feet wide. It's not very big for a tree stump, but it does the job. The symbol itself is a very decorative circle. And inside the circle, there are carvings that, if you want to roll me an occult, you might try and recognize.
That is an extreme success.
Okay. You know, this makes sense. So the symbol that you see, you're actually able to identify certain parts to it. And knowing all the research that you did along with Elaine and the rest of the party, you recognize this handiwork because it's pretty much exactly as you theorized. The, I guess, the ghost / and or witch of Mother Leeds, you're theorizing that she's combining certain things. That's how she's summoning this creature, going after the descendants of the family. And you see that that's not the only thing that she combines here. You see this symbol that's etched into it is something that looks like this symbol here is what you know to be something that summons something here. Something specific. You know that you have to alter the specific symbol to get what you want it to actually be summoned. The other thing that's carved into this is something similar to, say, life transference, but not life. It's kind of like a material transference. And as you're studying this and you're looking, you notice that all of the carcasses here are there for a reason. They were placed here. You see that some of them actually have vines wrapped around them, chaining them to this stump. And you're able to piece together that this symbol activates when you get into a vicinity of it. It summons something to this area, and then as it's here, it takes the physicality from these corpses and puts it into whatever was summoned, effectively giving it a physical form. You would also know with an extreme success, if you want to stop it, you need to destroy the symbol before it's finished, before that animal completely turns into a skeleton.
Knowing what I do, would I know whether or not simply destroying the circle, like breaking the circle, is that sufficient, or is it more involved to destroy this?
To stop it, you would need to physically alter it to stop the process. If you want to get rid of it completely, you're going to have to do something much more involved to physically destroy as much of it as you can.
Do I know enough to alter it to do something else?
Can you explain?
I'm just curious in terms of knowing enough about occult magic to maybe repurpose what's going on to do something else, but that's kind of just a general question.
I think that Avram would know enough theory that he'd know it might be possible. I don't know if he's ever done it in practice, but there's only one way to turn theory into practice, and that's to try it.
So it's summoning, but is there an element of it that involves control over what's summoned?
Yes, there is.
And is that to protect this area?
Effectively. Yeah, you got an extreme success, so you would see that it's kind of as if the ghost of Captain Kidd is being summoned here to defend this area. And there is an element of it being controlled, because as you heard Captain Kidd himself say, he's here and he wants to defend his treasure, but you're here, you're at the spot, there's no fucking treasure here. So you're pretty sure that that's not quite right. That this ghost is being manipulated to do the person who carved its bidding. So there is an element of control.
Hmm. Is the protecting specifically this area, or does it involve the witch herself?
This area.
Okay. Yeah, to start with then, I think breaking the summoning would be the time-sensitive thing to do.
Okay. How do you want to go about this? You want to try and just, carve into it? You want to try and... I don't know, what was Avram got on him? It's carved pretty heavily into the wood.
Let's see. So he's gonna have a penknife to...
Yeah. Alright. You can go ahead and start hacking away at that.
He's going to start sort of chiseling away with the penknife by hitting the butt of it with his the flat of his hand, and just try to break that summoning circle first.
Now the penknife, it'll take some time, but it's doable. You'll make some headway. This is a pretty thick pine tree stump, so carving with a penknife will be time consuming. We can have Avram start chiseling away at that.
He's got 65 strength. I'm sure he'll figure it out.
Yeah, you know what? Sure, roll me strength. We'll see how many rounds it'll take.
Just narrowly a success.
Okay. So you spend the rest of your turn starting to chisel away, because you just need to break one part of it.
Yeah.
To get it to stop functioning.
Yeah, it's going to do the minimum possible.
So it's going to take you this round and the next one. And then it'll be broken. So as you do this, you just got to think, all right, your friend's just got to survive one more go at that guy before he's gone.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck, guys. Speaking of, Captain Kidd's turn. And shit's weird. He's being bribed, but also spoken to. And also weapons pointing at. But the person right in front of him, Rebecca, are you trying to attack him, or looks like you're just trying to dodge him?
Yeah, I think at this point, mostly dodging. She probably still has her gun out, but it's not, pointed.
Yeah, you've got it, in hand, but not pointing at him. You're ready to move at a moment's notice. You got your fedora just on tight, ready to move. Tie clip on. So Evie, you're trying to to talk to him, chat him up, talking about Krakens, right?
Yeah, we're talking Krakens.
You're talking Krakens. He doesn't want to talk Krakens.
He doesn't want to talk Kraken.
He doesn't want to talk Krakens.
I've never met a
doesn't.
seaman that doesn't want to talk Kraken.
No. He's very confused. You keep mentioning shit. You probably pull up facts about his life that you fucking read into. As for funsies.
It's facts about the Kraken, Amy.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Facts about the Kraken.
It's
so
the story
sorry.
of his life, but like the sea monster is actually the main character.
It's Godzilla -1.
It's Godzilla understood. You know, it's from POV Kraken. I heard that the Kraken fought you. Did you know the Kraken did this and did that?
I heard he won. How did that feel?
So you're doing that, you're trying to distract him. The flashy jewelry that you pointed out also catches his eye that's fucking diamond and gold. He fucking knows the side of gold. Why the fuck is it just thrown on the ground right there? So, Rebecca, he is going to try and attack you. However, due to both Evie and Elaine, he's going to be attacking you with 2 penalty dice.
I like those odds.
So, we're going to go ahead and see how he does. Yeah, that's a fucking failure.
Beautiful.
Okay. So you see, he looks just confused. It's as if there's like a fly buzzing in his ear. As you're hearing talk about the Kraken, and he also is getting his eye caught on by the shiny, sparkly a few feet behind you. So his swing just goes wide, Rebecca. You're able to dodge out of it without much effort. You see that he's actually starting to get more and more physical. He's looking about 70% physical at this point now. You see his boot actually sinks into the mud when he steps. And that is going to be his turn. Good job, fucking debuffs. Because goddamn, that would have been bad for Rebecca.
Yeah, I honestly feel really good about that turn. I think we did a good job.
Mm-hmm. All right, Rebecca.
High five.
Gang, is there any reason I shouldn't shoot him? Like, are we all running? No? Okay.
Oh, that reminds me. Benny was also waiting to shoot, so we're going to go ahead and roll for him. That's going to be, 1 hit.
Give us a hit, Benny boy. There we go.
Let's go. So you see, you dodge out of the way, Rebecca, and you just hear 3 shots fire out from where Benny's standing. One of them actually hits the captain right in the shoulder, the same shoulder he's holding the sword in. It flinches, but it doesn't look like it's out of hurt. It's out of just the sheer impact of it. All right, Rebecca, it's your turn. Handgun, extreme success. Ooh.
That's it. That's the move.
Spend the one.
Oh, what? To crit? Yeah, why not? I'm gonna. Oh wait, is there any negative to being at 0 luck? Is that like insta death?
No, you're just kind of shit out of luck.
Okay,
you just
that's
trip
fine.
over your own feet and fall on a d4.
Yeah, there is a thing though, is that sometimes when I do luck rolls for the party, it'll go to the person who is the least lucky. So if you do have 0 luck, shit's just gonna happen to Rebecca.
I'm cool with it. I'm critting.
Okay, cool. You go ahead and you crit. And what is the extra damage for that again? I have it in resources, right? That's for, I guess, combat. So it's max damage plus max damage bonus plus roll weapon damage. That's for an extreme level of success. For a crit success, I'll just say max for all of those rather than rolling for a damage weapon. For weapon damage. So what do you roll for damage? You roll a d8?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just call that an 8 plus another 8. And do you have a damage bonus or was that 0?
No damage bonus. There's something that says impale and it says 12. I don't know what that means.
All right. So Impale is like a piercing weapon, so when you have an extreme level of success, you do extra damage. And for an impale weapon that pierces, you do max damage plus your max damage bonus plus another roll of the weapon. For a blunt weapon, you just do max damage plus max damage bonus. It's just a little extra damage compared to a blunt weapon because you're stabbing.
Okay. Well, I do have impale on my revolver at 12.
So we're gonna go ahead and call that a even 16. God fucking damn, Rebecca. You crack it. And can you just describe to me, because this isn't going to take him down. However, it's going to really fucking hurt him. How does this one shot look like?
I imagine she's like aiming right between the eyes, and then at the very last moment, he turns his head and I clip his ear.
You get the ear. The ear is gone. It's just fucking gone. Blown to a million pieces. As you see blood start to flow out of the wound. Not what you've been seeing previously. Previously, his wounds didn't have much of an effect, and then they did have an effect. But now you're seeing blood for the first time. As he's I would say a good 75% corporeal now. But yeah, that's a big fucking hit. Good job, Rebecca. Anything else for your turn?
That is it. I mean, she'll back up a little bit.
Okay. So we'll do stage, yeah. Alright. Evie.
Okay, so I have two things I would like to do. One is see if I can help Danny out with by prompting him, perhaps in the way that Nathan did. I think that was good, and I would like to follow up on that if possible.
Okay.
And then the second thing I would like to do is try to continue distracting the ghost, although that's probably harder now.
All right. So, what do you say to Danny? You turn to Danny. Danny's still having a bad time. Now, what does Danny look like at the moment, Charlie?
Very much in denial. Like, they're clearly in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a massive fire. Why are they ignoring it?
I think Evie, as he is saying this, will look between Nathan and Danny and just frown a little bit and lean toward Danny. And his name's Danilo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Danilo, has Nathan ever lied to you? I'm not certain he's capable of it.
Turns to Nathan. I don't think this is the time. Sure. You guys have to get out of here.
And we will, but just humor me this one time. Could you reconsider what Nathan's saying?
Danny brows furrow and he's still covering his face and he's so confused about why they aren't affected by the smoke or the heat. What's going on? Why aren't you running?
And we tried mud on him. No effect, right?
Yeah. Charlie, whenever you feel like Evie would have Danny reconsider, feel free to roll that sanity check.
And we're in the Pine Barrens, right?
Yep.
Danilo, what do you smell in the cinders? We're in the Pine Barrens. Quite a different place from whatever you're imagining, I think. She will try to get him to focus on the piney smell, which is probably different from whatever he's imagining.
Mm-hmm. If you want, you can pick up a pine cone.
Evie will hand Nathan a pine cone.
Nathan or Danny?
She'll hand it to Nathan.
Oh, okay.
To help make the case. In a sort of... Come on. Oh!
Hey.
Okay. All right, Danny. So you're trying to figure out what the fuck's happening, what's going on. You're most concerned about why aren't they running? Can't they see the fire? Can't they smell the smoke? How can they just stand there and breathe so easily when you're struggling? And now you're being told to just stop and start smelling the air. And at first you think, that's insane. I'm going to pass out from smoke inhalation. Don't you know this? Can't you see this? But then Evie did tell you that Nathan wouldn't lie to you. You trust Nathan, right? And by proxy, you trust Evie enough. And you stop and you think. And the thought of inhaling the smoke that's this thick at this point, that's getting this close to you, the fire looks like it's about 10, 15 feet away now. But you stop for a second. And you breathe in. And there's the smoke, but it's not hurting you. It's not as thick as it was before, you don't think. Or was it always that thick? It's kind of hard for you to remember now if the smoke actually hurt or not, or if it was just there. But you breathe in again, and the smoke is lighter. You still smell it, but you also smell something else. Something you know isn't here. You smell the scent of pine. You smell the scent of water, of earth, of dampness in the air. But you still see the smoke around you, and you breathe in one more time as you feel the fire roaring and the heat swelling up next to you. It's getting so close. But as you breathe in again, all you smell is pine. All of a sudden, the smoke's not there anymore. It's easier to breathe. You don't feel the heat anymore. And you're back in the Pine Barrens, as if you weren't in the Philippines at all, as if that was even real. You have been snapped out of your bout of madness. Congratulations.
Thanks, Evie.
It's mostly Nathan.
Thanks, Nathan.
It's mosely Nathan.
You're trying my best, man. I can't be blamed for your rolls.
You see, your hand's covered in mud, by the way.
And pine cone.
This is just like those Pine Sol ads, which brings me to today's sponsor, Pine Sol.
All right, Evie. You helped Nathan snap Danny out of it. Your turn. Are you gonna try and still talk about Kraken?
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
I will attempt Kraken talk.
FBI, don't.
Alright.
You keep talking about the Kraken. And at this point, it's become clear who the hero of your story is, and it's the Kraken. So we're going to keep that debuff going for him. Alright. Will that be all, Evie?
That's it for me. Thank you for indulging me.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Elaine. Situation's getting different. You're not sure if it's better or worse.
Elaine is hiding behind a tree. And, like, she's not hearing any... She heard the first few gunfire shots from Benny. But, like, there's not much... Oh, and she also heard Rebecca's shot, too, huh?
Yeah.
So she heard those. She's hiding behind the tree a bit longer. Peeks her head around. Noticing the situation. Danny seems to be doing better. Question mark. Rebecca's still going toe to toe with this guy. And her beautiful bracelet is just in the mud. And she's a little offended. That did nothing, really? Really? He didn't go for it? What the fuck? Now she's feeling a little indignant. She's going to try this again. I'm going to pull off her ring.
Ooh, okay, alright. Roll me a credit rating.
I love the credit rating attack. This is very funny to me.
It's very Elaine.
It really is.
You don't like my tennis bracelet? Is it out of season this quickly? God. You know what? Diamond rings, always in season. Unfortunately, Elaine, you throw it. You think, this thing is so pretty. It's so valuable. There's no way he's not going to like it. And you toss it, and it lands in a mud puddle.
Oof.
Can't see it anymore.
Does she roll for sand damage?
Honestly. Fucking, she sees that. Her heart, she dies. She feels like she's got a shot in the chest.
Shot through the heart. But alright. Anything else you want to try and do?
She's just fucking cursing in French. Like, what the fuck? You're not noticing this? It's so pretty, and now it's in a puddle, and you are a swine, and just, like, calling him a whole bunch of names, how uncultured he is. She hides back behind her tree.
You're just gonna insult him.
Angry French coming from a tree? Question mark?
It is pretty funny.
Angry French coming from a tree. Ah, incredible. Alright. Is that your turn, Elaine?
Yeah, I don't got anything else.
Okie doke. If you want to try and roll an intimidation with Angry French, you can.
You know what? Why not?
He might speak French.
That would be interesting.
I mean, if he's English, this is going to start another war.
He's actually he was a Scottish privateer.
Could no, I don't think that would count here. I'm gonna say appearance, but probably not this time.
Tree.
Yeah.
Man, that is one sexy tree.
Do you want to spend the luck?
We only have to survive this turn, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, you just gotta survive.
Objective, survive.
And he's already attacked, so
I
don't think it's needed. We're good.
Okay. So you try and just yell at him. Your anger gets the better of you. That temper, you're pretty sure you inherited it from someone. You're not sure who. You probably know who. And you duck behind the tree because you don't want to actually get fucking shot at or fucking sword thrown at. You don't know what the fuck this pirate can do. But unfortunately, there's no response. Because, okay, so I guess he doesn't understand French.
Oh, fuck.
All right. Danny, welcome back to the Pine Barrens.
Like I never left.
Mm-hmm. What you doing?
Well, Danny doesn't carry a gun, so pull out machete.
You going in?
Hold.
Holding?
Yeah, we'll go in.
All right. You go in, machete. I'm assuming you want to attack.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead and roll me a fighting brawl. And he is gonna, depending if you hit or not.
Nope.
Well, unfortunately, Danny, you're still a little shaken up. Your footing isn't 100% there yet, but your adrenaline got you this far. It can get you farther, right?
Mm.
Fortunately, you didn't anticipate how muddy it would be around him. How the moving around and dodging has changed the mostly stable floor into just mud that's gotten thicker and, I guess, deeper, less dense, looser. It makes it harder to get your footing as you get your foot stuck just enough to have your swing completely miss him. But you're here. You're there. Anything else you'd like to do?
That'll be all.
Okie doke.
Did you know, Captain, that a kraken will charge a ship in much the same manner as that?
Fucking kraken distraction. Alright, Nathan.
Well, Nathan's not getting closer to him,
Mm-hmm.
but Nathan is going to attack. It's just like seeing Danny like come back into himself and go fucking running off with a machete. Just like, fucking goddamn, these fucking children are. Looks at Evie very pointedly. I'm too old for this shit. And
Evie,
go ahead.
Evie just gives him like a mischievous smile.
Off his back, pull his rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Because that should still hit pretty good, because I'm assuming it's within 100 yards.
Yep.
And I did not roll last turn, which was the turn that I had the bonus die. Do I still have the bonus die, technically?
Yeah, I put it for, I think I said whatever you roll next.
Okay.
I don't think you rolled, so yeah, you can put your bonus die here.
So that's 2 of the 10s.
The support from Rebecca was able to let you catch your breath just enough.
That is... Would you believe I rolled the exact same thing on both of the 10s dice? It's got 60 twice. I'm going to spend 1 luck to get a hit.
Okay.
I do this 6 with the rifle on this man.
Okie doke, roll your damage. Oh wait, no, hold on.
I was about to say, do you want to roll the counter?
Yep. He is going to actually try and dodge. Because, he's also got penalty die. Because the fucking kraken, so we're gonna go ahead and see how all this goes.
You wouldn't be able to dodge if a kraken were upon you, but it's got too many tentacles.
And that is gonna be a failure. Thanks to the fucking penalty die.
So that is
Alright.
2d6 plus 4 plus 1d4. Let's see here. 3... 5... 8... 12... 16 damage.
Oof!
Okay. Anything else?
Could he also reload within this time frame, or is that a next round thing?
Technically a next round thing. Anything
Nope.
that's not too strenuous.
He's good. He's just fucking laid up against this rock still.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is
All
keeping
right.
him upright.
All right. So you see that, I imagine that, like, Captain Kidd saw Nathan about lining up his shot, about to take fire. But then Evie, God bless Evie, says something. What did she say to distract him?
Precisely what I said earlier.
Yeah, you can't dodge a crack, and he's getting ready to dodge out of the way of the rifle shot. But Evie, you time it just perfectly, and he just turns his head to Evie, looking incredulous, like, you weren't even there. And Nathan, your hit hits him dead on. You see more blood gushes from the wound. He's about like 80% corporeal now. It looks like everything, shoulders and down, is fully physical. And you know what that means? Body shots from, like, just fucking unload bullet as much as he can. Come on, Benny. I believe in you.
Benny supremacy.
1 success!
Hey!
Just keep chipping them down. Just keep chipping them down, Betty.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing you guys gotta understand. When you do a triple shot with a handgun, your first shot's normal, your second shot's at 1 penalty, your third shot's at 2 penalties. Benny has consistently only hit on the third shot. On the hardest one.
He likes a challenge.
Okay, good on you, Benny. Alright, Avram. You've been working and hacking away at this one spot that you know would just disrupt this entire circle. This entire carving here. Sorry, Wes?
I have a very important question for you.
How important?
It can wait.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, are you carving the cool S onto it?
I think that'll cause a different ritual. It'll teleport us all to the 90s.
Jump forward
I don't know
in
if our
time.
sanity can take that.
Not the 90s.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think Elaine's gonna be the one that suffers the most from that. Going from, like, early 1900s, like, gaudy to, like, the dumpster trash fire trends of the 90s.
I don't know if she'd make it.
It does mean that Evie can go to SeaWorld.
Is it the 1990s or the 1890s?
It would have to be the 1990s.
1990s, I think.
Yeah,
Cool S wasn't invented until then.
Yeah.
About to fucking Google history of the cool S.
Alright, Avram, I've got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
So, what this symbol is essentially 3 types of magic wrapped up into one. You've got one for summoning, one for making him have a physical body, and the third one that you noticed was also controlling it. Which one of these are you attacking first?
So the summoning's incomplete, right?
Yes. So the whole purpose of this entire thing wrapped together is to summon him here and give him a physical form to defend this area.
I think the summoning one would make sense to go for. The hope being if can abort that part before the animal finishes decaying, then the ritual will be able to complete.
Follow-up question here.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to try and study this and copy it down, if you destroy one of them, you won't be able to copy it down. Whichever one you destroy, you won't be able to copy down in a study.
You chose the words you knew would hurt me most. Yeah, destroy it.
Alright, so you want to destroy the summoning one? I will say, if you destroy any of them, the ritual will stop. But you have to destroy one of them.
Oh.
So you'd rather learn how to summon something? How to do the flesh conversion? Or would you like to would you rather learn how to control something? Which one of these would you like less?
Get rid of the corporeal one.
Okay. So you hammer it. Let me see one more strength check from you.
That is a 13, which I believe should be a hard success.
God damn.
Or wait, no, that's exactly an extreme.
Okay. All right, Avram. Describe to me what this looks like. Like, what's he doing?
He's trying to, because he's just kind of got a penknife, which isn't the best, use it more as a chisel than a knife, putting it underneath the bark and pounding it until the bark kind of starts to strip away, and as it does, just take a piece from it, throw it away, and try to get as much of the circle broken as possible. Just kind of mess it up enough.
Okay. So, you've been working at this for a while now. You still hear the sounds of your group and what they've got going on. You don't hear what sounds like too much trouble, so you're just hoping they can just hold on for just a little longer. You've almost got it. And steady work with that penknife, slowly chiseling away, carving to try and get a chunk off of the ritual. Because all you need to do is just get one solid chunk off. That's all you need. And eventually, it works. Eventually, your penknife gets just deep enough to disrupt the deep carvings into the wood, and a sizable chunk rips off, splintering into a couple different pieces as they pop off. Now, Avram, I'd like you to roll me a sanity check.
Well, that's interesting.
Oh?
That's a 98.
Oh, okay. Cool.
We got one and we lost one.
So you are going to be losing a d4 of sanity. Go ahead and roll that yourself if you'd like.
I will do that when I'm able. I'll just need to find the D4.
It's okay. I can just roll it for you if you want.
Oh, sure, yeah.
3. So you're going to be losing 3 sanity as you rip up a chunk of the wood and it splinters into a couple different pieces. You feel the tree trunk that you've been working on grow hot to the touch. It almost burns as you feel a wave of force just erupt from it, sending you back a couple of feet. You feel it hit your chest the most, and you see a bright red light flash. Kind of makes you blink for a second. It's a little dizzy and disorienting. And for a second, Avram, you swear you hear a woman's voice in the back of your mind scream in anger. But you shake your head, you blink away the bright flash. And you look at the corpse right next to you. You see that it is just bone and skin. You are this close from having this ritual finish. But you got it just in time. The rest of you, as you're there trying to deal with this ghost who's just trying to slash at and attack Rebecca, the rest of you distracting it, getting your shots in, he's taking more and more damage. He's just tanking it. You see that it's getting to him, but you yourself can see that it's almost as if he's healing as he's getting more and more physical. More and more weight is being added to him. And then you see he tries to slash one more time at Rebecca before you see him just start melting. His stance goes wobbly. His sword falls out of his hand. You see, it's almost as if he's made of just pure water. As he just starts dripping and drooping and trying to grab at Rebecca, but none of it's working. Every step he takes forward just makes him sink further and further into the mud. And with one last try and grab at her, he's gonna try and get one last one in before he's gone. And that... Alright, Rebecca. He gets one. He tries to grab at you. Would you like to dodge or fight back?
Dodge, which means I just have to meet. Is that right?
Yes, you just gotta meet. I'm looking for a regular success.
Regular success. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You're fucking that penalty, man. Coming in clutch for you. You got an extreme success on this other one.
Evie's cracking facts.
All right. Rebecca, you're able to just sidestep him. As with that one last attack, just meeting pure air as you sidestep and get out of the way, he's gone. Nothing is left except a pool of water quickly mixing into the mud. And Captain Kidd is gone.
We did it! Yay!
Nathan just still reloading the rifle, looking around, prepared to shoot something else that pops out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's valid.
Elaine peeks her head around, sees no threat, goes to her bracelet.
Is she gonna reach her hand into the icky muck to try and find her ring?
No.
Yeah.
No, she's not.
Elaine. Where'd you throw it again? Where was it again? Fuck. Which puddle? If you want to try and find it, I'm gonna need a spot hidden.
Okay.
If you want to try and find the ring, the bracelet you can see. If you want to get the ring, you're gonna have to look for it.
Gonna try and find the ring.
Mm-hmm.
No, maybe it's just floating on the top, you know?
Like metal does.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Floating, then there's some other issues that she's gonna need to address.
Spot hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
No. Elaine,
It's not worth
gone.
Luck.
No.
No. Yeah. She had a feeling she knew where it is, but there were multiple puddles in that area, and it's not worth it. She's not even gonna try.
Aw, Elaine.
All right.
This just means a shopping trip when I get home. That's all.
As all of this is going on and things are starting to chill out, I think Evie looks between Nathan and Danny and then looks over to Rebecca. What the hell's Rebecca's last name again? Is it Redfield?
Yes.
It's Redfield, right. Calls over to Rebecca. Excuse me, Detective Redfield. Could you come take a look at Nathan and Danilo?
She'll holster her gun and walk over. Begin psychoanalysis.
And first aid if you've got it.
She's actually not great at first aid.
Oh boy.
Ain't that just a cop?
I think the unfortunate thing is that the person with the best first aid, I think, is Nathan.
All right. So DM, Evie's got a 30 in it. So would you allow Nathan to maybe direct Evie?
Danny's got a 75.
Oh yeah, well we could get Danny. Yeah, we'll get Danny good, and then he can do it.
Yeah. I'll say that Psychoanalysis wouldn't really work here because he's already out of the madness.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Dan, you can go ahead and take a crack at first aid for Nathan.
Just Rebecca, make sure that he is in his right mind before he starts messing around with the wound.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Starts approaching Nathan with the machete.
You guys hear boss music?
Nathan, with a rifle, just staring him down for a second, looking at the machete, looking at him, looking at the machete. I think you won't be want to put that away.
Looks down at the machete. What if another ghost comes out? We might need it.
As if you weren't able to just fucking pull it out of nowhere and charge.
I think he need to sit down, Uncle.
There is a blink and like an eye twitch. Oh, what now?
Let's get you patched up, yeah?
Just sighs and finds a relatively dry-looking stump to sit on.
All right, let's see that first aid check.
God damn it.
Would having a first aid kit help at all?
Would having a what?
First aid kit.
99.
I may assume you guys have that in your miscellaneous belongings.
Oh yeah.
If he has a scalpel.
Yeah.
Nathan has
So-
a first aid kit. I know that.
So you could have two people attempt to try it.
Yeah,
So
you're
someone
kind of
else
pretty
wants to
bad.
try. Like Danny, you know what to do. You're still a little shaken up. Your hands just keep shaking. You can't hold anything too steady.
Can you
I'm
do
sorry,
first
Nathan.
aid on
It's
yourself?
terminal.
Yeah, I don't really see why not.
Okay. Nathan just like, yeah, you're pretty cut up. There's a blink and a sigh, and takes the first aid kit, puts it in his own lap, starts like looking down, twisting and turning, trying to fix himself. That is a hard success.
You heal yourself. 1 hit point.
Oh.
You're able to patch up the bleeding. Taking the bandage from Danny because his hands are just too shaky. It made you a little nervous. Just like, I'll just take over. Thanks for the help. You just take over. You wrap up the wound. Feels a bit better, but still aches a lot. But you'll live.
Sloppy stitching and sloppy bandages. This is why he's scarred up.
Avram, did you want to rejoin the group before you start doing your thing with the symbols?
He's going to stay and study them. Take a cigarette out. He's going by the rule of if you do wander off, stay put. They will come to you. If you start trying to go somewhere, you're going to get lost.
You
It's
know
a very
what?
good rule.
Valid. Makes sense. All right, Avram, you want to make a note down that you copied the symbol of summoning and the symbol of control. You can study those later.
Can Evie start taking a look at these plants here? Can she learn more about these plants?
Yeah. Roll me botany.
31.
Yeah. This shit's from the ocean.
Mhm.
Like, this was just in salt water. You know the smell of salt water. You know the feel of it. You know how it dries against your skin and leaves a residue that fresh water doesn't. This man's just got plucked from the ocean and was here all of a sudden. You actually, with a regular success, you actually find enough of it that you've got yourself like a cool sample of something that only grows in the bottom of the ocean.
That would make her day. And so she is going to be delighted in staring at that until she is pulled away from it.
Danny, do you have any gun training?
I wasn't allowed to use any good firearms. It's more meant for the army people.
Mechanically, does he have anything above table?
Yeah.
In what?
We got handgun 20, rifle 25.
Is that the base?
Yes.
Probably.
That's base.
Yep, yeah, though that's the base amount.
Yeah, because that's the same as Evie.
Nathan blinks for a second. Well, I guess it's about time you start learning. And he'll just pull out a fucking handgun that he has and hand it over, like with holster and all.
I don't need a license for this?
No.
Tilts head. Look to Rebecca.
She just shrugs.
Tugs him closer, starts strapping the holster on him without his permission now. All you gotta know is point the dangerous boom end towards whatever you're trying to hit and squeeze the trigger.
Point and squeeze.
That's why Nathan gets very much with his chest. Be like, yeah, no, you don't need a license. That doesn't exist. Because we want to outlaw alcohol before we outlaw guns.
Like a real American.
And now to today's second sponsor, America. We're really shaking things up this week, folks. People say that America's been stale. They don't know what they're talking about. We've got some unprecedented history going on right now.
Boo.
Mm.
Boo.
Hey, are we dating the session right now? Is that what's happening?
Incredible.
I feel like Bugs Bunny getting yoinked off screen at the fucking shepherd's dog.
All right. Evie, you've got a sample of some deep sea kelp.
Now, you said that it was a plant she found.
Yes.
And kelp is not a plant.
I see you are embracing me.
See, the only reason I know that is because I needed to know that for an assignment. But that one I do know.
All right, fine. You don't get kelp. You get seagrass.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I thought kelp would be more interesting.
Kelp is more interesting, but I wanted to bust your balls a little bit.
Understood. You get seagrass.
Thank you.
Okay, I can't move on from this. If it's not a plant, what is it?
It's this weird other thing. It's a very unique structure. Let me look up what exactly it's called.
I just
They're algae. They're algae.
Yeah, it's a type of algae. It's a specific thing I don't know how to pronounce. It starts with like an S thing.
A straminophile?
Yeah.
Straminophile, maybe. Something like that.
I don't know
What
how to pronounce
kingdom
it.
does it belong to?
Well,
England.
class Phyphosphate, subphylum Ochrophytinia, phylum Gyrista. Is that
What are
good
you
enough for
summoning
you?
right now? What are you summoning?
Evie, why are you arguing with the ground?
New tech. Just start reading out animal species classic names, and you'll sound like you're casting a spell. It's foolproof.
Now this is strange. I could have sworn I saw a plant, but this is clearly kelp.
Anyway. What exactly is this? Are my eyes mistaken? All right. So, as everyone's recovering from that, and I'm assuming getting their wits back about them, Benny does walk up to where Rebecca is, loading his gun back before holstering it. He looks at her. It's like, so, what just happened?
Sorry, I'm just now registering. Did you say Rebecca? I'm on Straminopile's Wikipedia page.
Yes.
I'm so
God damn
sorry.
Evie has stun locked Rebecca.
Yeah.
Well, they're also called heteroconts.
You can't say that, Evie.
We're about to get Twitch banned.
Benny just went up to Rebecca after like reloading his fucking handgun. And he looks at her, he's like, what just happened?
That is a really great question. For that answer, I'm gonna turn you over to, and she's gonna gesture to Avram and Evie.
Avram's not here right now. It's just Evie.
Avram's not locked, and Evie is also stun locked by this kelp.
Yeah.
Splendid. Let's find the people that can answer your question.
He's like, well,
You just encountered a ghost.
Somehow I have a sneaking suspicion that won't no ghost.
I don't think so.
Hey, does this mean my mythos goes up by 1?
Yes.
Hey.
Danny, Nathan, and Rebecca can all increase your mythos by 1.
Did you say Danny, Evie, and Rebecca?
No. Danny, Nathan, Rebecca.
Danny, Nathan, Rebecca. Oh, sorry. No, I'm sorry. I just completely misheard the list of names. Thank you.
Okay. I thought you were making a joke.
We just have
No.
special mythos requirements.
Yeah. For the non-readers, they increase their mythos by encountering and dealing and interacting with creatures, versus all the readers can increase their mythos a lot faster by reading.
That's valid.
Mm-hmm.
Have we increased our mythos?
I mean,
you should have last round.
I've got 6.
Yeah. So I will say
you
that
guys...
5.
I'm at a 3.
Yeah, so your the quote-unquote smart readers, people who are going to be reading the tomes, are going to be increasing their mythos that way, outside of combat and encounters, but they're also going to be able to increase it by a lot more, versus the more combat-oriented people who are not the readers, can only increase it via encounters, but they only go up by 1.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, effectively, in scenes and in missions, the ones who are going to most likely increase their mythos is going to be the
nerds.
The not nerds. I'm the fucking jocks and the nerds, right? So they're going to increase their mythos 1 encounter at a time for each one that they have. Like, you're in the same room and they deal with a creature of some kind, they're going to increase it by 1. And outside of missions where you have more time to read, unless you take the time during a mission to read, the quote-unquote nerds will be able to increase theirs by whatever the book that they're reading its rating is. And that ranges from anywhere between like 4 at a time to like 10 or more, depending on how much you read. So it's less, but it's also like a lot more, but less often. So it kind of equals out. But the nerds are going to skyrocket once they get time to read.
Understood.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, I follow.
Cool. Yeah.
Is Avram getting any for studying sigils?
Not at the moment. You're gonna need to
do a deep dive.
Do a deep dive and actually study them. Right now, you've only got enough time to like copy them down to study later, unless you want to like set up camp now to spend a few hours studying them.
I mean, if everyone's going to just be like, oh yeah, wasn't there another guy here?
That was going to be Elaine's next comment. I'm like, where's Avram?
Yeah.
He's going to take them down and then go about destroying the rest of it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Evie would check on him, but this kelp.
Yeah. I'll say, Elaine, you notice that Benny's looking around. You see him stop. He pause. Confusion. You see him counting. He's like, wait, there was another one, wasn't there?
Does anyone know where Azam went?
He was yelling at him about something.
I think I heard plants.
Nathan will pick up a small rock and throw it at Evie's back.
This is well planned from Nathan, because he chucks it, and Evie was very, very focused, and then just sits up straight. Oh, am I needed?
You were talking to Avram.
Yes, I told him to follow the trail of this here. I thought it was kelp, but it's actually a unique kind of seagrass, which is typically only found at the very bottom of the ocean, and not simply the Atlantic, but actually the Pacific Ocean. So it's quite interesting to find it.
Starts nodding and like motions everybody to start walking.
Yeah.
Elaine will go to Evie and like lead her while she's talking, so that we don't get separated.
That's a good call. I imagine that like Elaine has done this several times, where she like guides Evie up and then just surrenders to the fact that Evie's going to be talking for a little bit.
All right, Grammy, let's get you back inside.
I imagine Elaine also like knows the right times to respond and ask questions and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you've got the protocol for a lecturing Evie has been engaged. And Danny, how are you holding up? Like, what are you doing?
Honestly, I think we're just playing a follower.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't much help with the first aid or the encounter. So we were hanging back.
Was Danny learning about kelp and seaweed? Is he attending the lecture?
He is zoned out.
Mm-hmm. There will be, I guess, an elbow, I think, from Benny as this traveling lecture starts taking shape, following this path to where Abram probably is. You think he's probably there. He gets Danny's attention with an elbow, and there's just quirk of the eyebrow of just, you good?
I didn't think we be fighting ghosts out here. Not at least that soon.
Gives a nod.
Really not see any of the fire?
His eyebrows kind of furrow as, like, I imagine they're kind of talking like you would if you're talking at the back of a class. So you have the lecturer up front talking about also, like, very interesting history of kelp and the species of seagrass that look like, but are not, in fact, kelp.
Hey, sailor.
Yeah, he found his gator. And he shakes his head. It's like, no, there was no fire anywhere, unless you're talking about gunfire.
Danny will scrunch his nose and just shake his head. Yes, I just really was seeing things. It seems so real.
I'm so sorry. Give me a second.
Increasingly aggressive shaking.
That's the ghost dog following us.
Found a surprise Captain Kid bone. Shaking the bone.
Hi, I'm sorry. He's decided now is Zoomy time. I
He's
do
a good
evict
boy.
him real quick. Yeah, he's a good boy. Okay. Got to loop this again.
See, the
All right.
song title was Deafening Silence, so I was like, maybe it's meant to be quiet.
Oh, so, all right. So, Danny, say that, and see, Benny just kind of scratches the back of his neck. Takes a second to just fix his glasses from where they got a little askewed during the chaos. He just nods, but this time slower. Yeah, these woods can make you see things. It feels real, but it's not.
That sort of stuff happened to you back when you were younger?
There's a hesitation before he nods again. Yeah, I spent a lot of time out here when I was younger, and then I didn't. It's kind of hard to remember. It was. It made me feel like I was going insane. Like, nothing was there, but also there were things there. So yeah, I don't really go into the woods much anymore.
I don't think Danny will say anything after that. Just keep on walking.
Yeah. Nothing further to say. Just keep walking. He probably tunes into the lecture at this point. What's Evie talking about now?
She's pivoted to Krakens.
Back to Krakens. All right. And before long, you guys do follow the trail and you come across Avram. Now, what's Avram doing?
He's got the stub of a cigarette in his mouth, and after having copied things down, he's going just kind of patiently with the penknife, trying to destroy everything else just so this can't be reused.
All right. So you come into a small clearing. In the center of it, you see this tree stump and Avram. And next to Avram are a bunch of skeletons and one mostly decomposed carcass. And you see Avram with a penknife just hacking away at something on the tree stump. See, the fog is thicker, but it's not as thick as it was previously. Easier to see now.
And what exactly did that stump do to piss you off?
It was he was looking at me funny.
Mm.
As you may have surmised by the bones, this was a ritual site. I take it by you being here that it worked.
Nathan kind of side to side with his head, but nods. Well, got up and disappeared, so I'm assuming so.
That's good.
Any idea what this ritual exactly was for, or who it was by?
It was by our recording, Miss Leeds. It was a three-part ritual to summon, to make physical, and then to command. Thankfully, we were only part way into its completion.
So somebody was, what, pulling that pirate here for some reason?
As best I can tell, just to protect this area, if Mrs. Leeds did this, that would probably be a guard dog of sorts.
So I'm guessing that means we're close.
Hopefully. It is hard to say.
do you need help with that, or are you good with the what you have there?
It would be quicker with something a little bigger. Damning, do you still have your machete?
Danny will hand over him his machete.
Yeah, if the machete to hack away at this way.
Yeah. Now that we're not, in combat, it's not too pressing. It'll just take some time, but you can just hack away at it, slowly start destroying it bit by bit. And I'll say that Nathan and Danny and Evie. No, not Evie.
Aw.
Evie's busy.
Yeah, Evie's busy. Also, there's no way she would probably know this. At least in my opinion.
I do appreciate that Elaine is investing in the ritual site, which means Evie is following her and still talking to her while she's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that feels right to me.
Yeah. Elaine, you see the ritual site, you see the carcasses and the skeletons of animal remains. You see Avram working his way slowly, destroying the carvings in the wood. But Nathan and Danny would know that just one quick look at the skeletons. These are bear skeletons and carcasses surrounding and wrapped up in vines and kind of attached to this tree stump.
Well, at least we now know we're in bear country. Looks towards Rebecca with just a little mischief on his face. Tell me, you know what to do with a bear? Don't suppose you have many of them in the cities.
She very visibly gulps. A, a bear? You're a park ranger, aren't you?
He nods.
And I'm glad we're in good hands.
There's a chuckle. He shakes his head and will turn around, find Danny, give Danny a thump on the back that probably knocks him forward just a little bit. Yeah, this is something that we can handle.
Bear skeletons?
Well, if any others start wandering around. Don't suppose whoever it was killed bears a ways away and dragged them all the way here.
Are there any drag marks?
Amy?
Yes. It looks like there are drag marks. So they're old. One of the rangers, one of the woodsy people would like to roll me a track roll.
Track.
Mm-hmm.
Danny's only got a 10 in this.
I'm theoretically good at this. Hey, that's a definite hard success.
Hey.
I've got to roll this to see if it's an extreme. I don't think it is, but I need to just double check.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard.
Cool. So, Nathan, that's brought up, and you look at the ground, and the track marks are pretty old, but you do see drag marks. And as you look, it's a pretty small clearing, but it's also pretty sizable. You do have to walk a few paces to get to the edge of it. And as you do, you see that it looks like the drag marks only really start in the clearing itself. And we see on a hard success, right?
Yes.
All right, you're actually also able to see paw prints in the mud. Right up until it gets near the clearing. And then you see there's this like divot in the ground. And a couple of holes that you think are pretty bear paw shaped before you see the drag marks start. And drag all the way up to where the most fresh carcass is. The one that's now only skin and bone.
So something snatched a bear.
Yep.
Nathan kind of looks it over, and there's a slow shake of the head, and looks back at the stump, and it's secured by vines, right?
Yep.
Make sure you chop up them vines real good on your destruction path there of them. I have a sneaking suspicion that them vines were more the culprit of the killing than anything else.
That's interesting. I suppose it makes sense.
If you say so.
Arum, it's easy enough. Cutting the vines, they're a lot thicker than you thought they would be. There's more resistance to them than you anticipated, so it takes you a minute to cut through it, but once you cut one, you know the force needed. It's quick work. Eventually, the tree stump is just shredded wood at the top. No sign of any substantial amount of carving left. The vines all cut at the base. And starts withering away. Dead.
I'm just kind of fucking tired at this point. Been messing up this tree stump for a while.
Well, you got a seat right there, too. Want to sit on the stump?
Yeah,
It's a little splintery, but...
Let's sit on the cursed stump.
I forgot. Were we planning on, like, camping before going to the village or getting to the village and camping afterward?
We might want to camp now, honestly.
I think we made hard plans.
I don't think we said we could make it before. Like, we'd have to spend at least one night, right?
Yeah.
Yep, at least one night.
So Nathan just kind of looks around. I think we might need to be finding another little clearing somewhere to set up camp late enough in the day, and I don't want to go wandering and face first on anything else that might be out here causing trouble.
Do you know where another clearing is?
I hope she's not asking Nathan that.
It's a rhetorical question.
Looks at Benny.
Benny thinks, kind of looking up as he kind of scratches his chin. I think there's more the closer we get to Old Leeds. Right now we're on the, I guess you call it the most direct path to it. So, we're probably about a mile or two out from one of the, I think they had, like, lumber places where they chopped trees, so there's some man-made clearings near there if you want to go there.
lead the way. Don't necessarily want to be staying here where there's vines that snatch bears.
Yeah, and here I thought the decrease in population was hunting. Like, I guess, does that count as hunting? I guess technically it does.
Yeah, I wouldn't count it because then this thing just turns around and hunts humans next. Don't want that type of hunting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll fucking pick up his bag. Like, okay, yeah, you know what? You're right. Fuck that. Pulls out map. Pulls out compass. Looks at it. Turns. Points. I think we gotta go this way. Pretty sure.
Nathan, just gonna follow him.
Oh, it's like, alright, I think fucking I know how to read a map, technically. I think this is the right way.
It's like Dora the Explorer, but it's Benny.
Yeah. It's like, fucking, alright, sure, let's just go. Alright. You all continue making your way towards Old Leeds, delving deeper and deeper into the Pine Barrens, trying to set up camp. The sun is getting low in the sky, and it's getting a bit darker. And the fog that did get thicker starts to clear up a little bit as you continue walking. Looks like the sun going down makes it easier to see, less mist in the air from evaporation. But eventually, after a couple more hours of walking, you do find another clearing. This one obviously man-made, as you see a bunch of stumps that were pulled from the ground all piled up in a corner. You see a makeshift little shack that you assume houses tools and equipment that are now old and abandoned. But the ground is mostly dry. Very minimal mud in this area. You're free to set up camp if you'd like.
Please.
Alright. So, you set up camp, you get all the supplies you need, thanks to Nathan and Danny being experts in the field.
Is there any way that I can get a few more hit points with a good night of rest?
You heal one for every night that you rest.
Okay. I'm scrounging for anything, boss.
As he's turning over the couch cushions, is there a hit point here? Have you guys seen any hit points?
Yeah, every night of rest you'll heal for one.
Since it's technically the next day, the next morning, can we do another first aid?
So, first aid is patching up of wounds. It's to kind of stem the bleeding. It's only something you do within an hour of getting injured.
Medicine?
Medicine is more for helping conditions. Like, say, if someone, fuck, I just had that pulled up actually. So, I don't believe a medicine check would help here, but I can double check for you. if you want, you can take an hour to apply a medicine check.
All right, does anybody have medicine?
I feel like Evie would be the most likely one.
Well, about that. So
She's not
medicine
that
and
kind of doctor.
biology are different skills.
Look, that's human biology. She doesn't know anything about that.
If this were a fish, she'd be all over it.
It's just biology. If you
Becky
will
has
let me...
one.
Yeah, I'm saying she has one. If you will let me roll out a penalty, I can try it, Amy, with biology. But
I mean,
does anyone have medicine?
Nathan has a 5.
So there are 2 ways to try and heal. You can either heal naturally, or you can get a first aid check, which heals for 1, or you can do a medicine check, which heals for 1d3. Now, for every injury, you can heal from 1 first aid and 1 medicine. After that, you won't be able to have first aid or medicine applied to you again until you get injured again. There's only so much you can do for a wound. So I will take a medicine. But most people can try and help each other out.
If you will let me do anything with this biology to help, I will.
Can Nathan try medicine on himself with Evie's assistance?
Yeah, sure.
Give me
Give
2
you
dice.
a bonus die. Yep, he'll give you a bonus die. Just need a regular success.
Nope. Because, would you believe? Again, I rolled 2 60s.
Yep. It'd be like that. So, unless you want to try and push the roll.
Hell no. Not
Okay.
when we're talking about HP.
Do it.
But you've got a bonus die.
No. I would like Nathan to remain standing, thank you.
Valid. Reasonable. So, in that case, is there anything anyone would like to do while you are resting? Setting up camp for the night.
Nathan is just passed out for the most part, I think. Nathan needs the recovery time.
Yep.
Are we taking shifts or watching, or
we probably should? Yes.
Probably in pairs.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if Evie and Elaine count as one person each here.
I will say there is good news. I will say, out of the corner of all of your eyes, one way or another, you do see a certain someone is once again hunting, quote unquote, and stalking, quote unquote, the party. Dog has returned.
Oh.
Thank you, dog.
Good boy.
He's being super sneaky, crouched, epitome of stealth.
tail above the bush?
Yep, tail is also wagging. But he's so sneaky, you can't see him. He's gonna creep closer and closer to someone.
I mean, technically, we can't see him. He's a ghost.
Yeah, technically, he's like semi-transparent. But yes. All right.
Elaine will ask questions about the ritual that our room found.
Yeah, they can have a study sesh.
Yeah!
And got their sleeping bags together. Feet, like, kicked up behind them. Looking at eldritch symbols together. Besties for life.
Evie is probably going to spend some time studying Ghost Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever it's her shift. Like, I imagine if Ghost Dog is, crawling through the grass and whatnot, she's going to get on her belly and also crawl.
Mm-hmm. Ghost Dog is having fun.
Ghost Dog's probably like, that's a fucking weird looking dog.
But it's playtime? Playtime? There's a fucking ghost paw at Evie that just feels like cold air against you. Well, yeah, Ghost Dog will have new ghost, quote-unquote dog? No, not dog. But playmate, yes. Alright. Danny, what you doing?
I got nothing, boss.
Fair enough. Sleep time?
Yeah, I think it's the time of night where Charles's brain is starting to turn to mush.
Yep. Sleep time for Danny. Pretty traumatic experience. And Rebecca. How are you going to spend your evening?
I think she's all like gonna interact with the dog a little bit more. Maybe like try to play like ghost fetch.
When you say dog, do you mean Evie or the ghost?
The ghost. The ghost.
Wonderful.
And did Elaine get her bracelet back?
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah.
She has the bracelet, not her ring.
Yeah.
Oh, not the ring?
Mm-hmm.
I guess Rebecca would spend some time in the evening trying to look for the ring.
Aww. That's so nice of her.
That's really sweet of her.
Aww.
I love that.
Aww. Okay. As we move pretty far away from this site, we can say that Rebecca, before everyone left the battleground, quote unquote, roll me a spot hidden, see if you find it.
That's a negative.
Fuck.
But it's the thought that counts.
It's a thought that does count. You
Yeah.
tried, Rebecca. That thing must have been heavy, and the extra water and mud that was created from defeating the ghost does not help. But you tried. Okay.
It's okay. It would have been hell to try and clean it anyways.
Alright. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and I think this now, right here, is a good place to end session.
I think so. We did a good job.
Good job, guys.